Look at how good that looks. Yeah. Now look at that shield. Oh, is that burlap? How are you gonna have something looking so cool and then have me walking around with an ugly car door? What is going on? Why does this not match? It's the same size as my character and you couldn't put that in black and red? Oh, good. Imagine if Marvel took that shortcut, huh? Yeah, guys, I present to you guys Captain Budget here. Look how good that looks. So we're gonna save the tips and tricks to the end of the video and really teach you the technique to using Dozer, because I really wrote him off early on. I was getting frustrated. I thought, honestly, there were hit registration issues with the shield. There were just so many times I felt like I was right next to somebody. I clearly hit the guy and I never did. And I found out that there's a trick to using a shield. There's almost a sweet spot, if you will. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'm going to teach you how to counter a Dozer right after. So when you're charging or dealing with moving targets, they generally like to move around a lot. One of the things that I recommend you guys to do is kind of learn the sweet spot with Dozer's shield. This is going to save you a lot of frustration early on, because a lot of times when you're chasing people and they're moving, you do a lot of this, right? And you end up doing some sloppy misses, panicking, and eventually end up dying, and it's just an embarrassing scene. So what you want to do is not basically charge right up on a guy, right? A lot of times, if they are moving, you will clip through them, pass them, or miss them entirely. You don't want to be too close to them. You don't want to be too far back. You want to be about a step back from somebody. This far is the sweet spot for the shield. That's exactly how far you want to be. So when you're moving, you can just kind of go by and bop, bop, bop. So you don't want to get right up on a guy, because you might do something like that. You want to keep your distance back, just like about a step. But this has some range to it. Too far back and you're going to miss a little. But you get right to here, you actually have some decent range, and that is the area that you need to strike. Now, there are 3 types of reactions that you get when you are using a Dozer shield. There are the fleers, the guys that run away as soon as they see you, which is terrible and the worst thing you could possibly do, because as soon as you show your back to a Dozer, he's going to put the shield away and put 2 right in the back of your head. The second type of player are the backwalkers, the guys that think, oh, I can shoot the feet, and occasionally you will get lucky, or if there's enough distance between you guys. But there will come a time where you are actually going to shoot at the feet and hit the shield, and it's going to cost you your life, because he can actually outrun you if you're going backwards. The best way to counter a Dozer is probably going against your instincts and charging him straight on. One of the best things you can do is get right next to him and just unload in the side of his body. Now, I know this sounds really weird, and you're like, what, really? The best way to take him on is charging right at him? As I said, the shield is definitely a temperamental one. If you are not swinging at the exact moment that he is in that sweet spot, he is going to go behind you, off to the side of you, or not actually meet that distance. There is a small chance you are going to kill him if you just try to swing at him dead on, but there's a really high chance that you are going to die if you try to take someone on charging right at you. If anything, and you are a Dozer, you should probably try pulling your gun out when he is mid-sprint and anticipate that charge and try to kill him and maybe turn it into a heads-up duel. If that's not good enough for you, one of the things I recommend to do to counter with your shield out is actually utilize the backing up and turning the opposite way. Think of a car, if you will. If you see this guy is charging you, charge him. Make it a game of chicken. And as soon as you think he's about to choose a side to jump either to your left or to your right, you basically start walking backwards, reverse, and then turn in the opposite direction at which he's going to jump. You do this, it's going to give you enough of an angle that your shield can block all the shots that he was intending to put into your side. And honestly, because he will likely jump, he's also going to lose momentum and not be able to move much. So as soon as he does jump and he does land, charge him, hit him with it, and he's not going to know what happened. This is not foolproof. It's not a guaranteed way to take him down, but it's a really good way to counter those that actually know how to take on a Dozer. Now, I don't have too much more knowledge to share with you beyond the fact that I hope he gets a passive rework, and I would really like to see his shield buffed. As it currently stands, it can one-shot melee anyone without armor, which means Angel is going to be a problem. You'll have to follow up with a secondary swing, which of course is not easy to do, because once you've alerted him to bopping him, he's probably going to run away and it's going to get really sloppy thereafter. And honestly, with such large maps, if you can get right next to a person, you deserve that one-shot melee. And oh yeah, smoke grenades. Smoke grenades are your best friend. How could I have forgotten? Smoke grenades are wonderful tools. Now, I use these in 2 ways. One, of course, the traditional way. Use them to close the distance gap. The closer you are to them, the more likely you can whip out your shield and melee them in one swing. So obviously, smokes are a big asset to the playstyle of Dozer. Going a step further, I actually like basically using it as a cloud of cover. I like throwing it into piles of enemies and charging into the smoke and having that advantage, because they're gonna panic, they're gonna swing, they're gonna shoot and spray, but all I gotta do is push a single button and bop them in the middle of that smoke cloud, and it's honestly quite a lot of fun. Another thing to lead with, and this is a common mistake that I see a lot of new dozers use: do not keep your shield out. Your shield should never be out more than just a couple seconds at a time. You should pull it out situationally, whether or not it's just to melee a guy, maybe to put yourself in a corner and protect yourself, if you think somebody's gonna follow you into a door frame, something like that. You shouldn't just run out in the open with it. It obstructs your vision, you can only see limited amounts, you're vulnerable from the sides and the back. It is just not wise. Too many people just run around with this shield out all the time, and that is going to cost you your life. It is not productive, it's not going to yield more kills for you, it's going to be more death. So please do not make this common mistake. So honestly, just pull it out when you need it. Realistically, my shield throughout a 30-minute match is going to be out maybe a minute max. I use it to sometimes peek corners if I got to go across a wide open area. I can use it to have extended periods to literally look around corners. It's a strategic way to do it. So instead of just like running out into the open carelessly or trying to get peeked and, you know, risk a headshot or something, I can honestly stay, look outside a corner, look into an open area. Are there any vehicles? Where's the snipers? And it allows me to scan the area strategically without actually leaving myself vulnerable. So that's one thing that I really like to use his shield as kind of a tactical thing. Just peeking corners in wide open areas. So that's it, guys. I think Dozer's criminally underrated. I'm a big fan of him, and honestly, he would really just skyrocket in popularity and use if we saw him and we had infantry maps in this game. Again, there's a way to do it and a way not to do it, and with experience and with practice and learning that sweet spot, you're gonna find more confidence using him. So if you have some wonky motions or you feel like you just can't hit shots, give it time, take some time to practice, and I honestly truly believe it'll come to you when you figure it out, and you are just going to really enjoy this specialist. So thanks again for all the love. Please leave a thumbs up, as it really helps these videos get out there. A lot of work goes into these things, and I will catch you guys with another video tomorrow.